Hi everyone, it's me Carol, and as promised, I am now beginning a kind of a new series where I will be discussing the master numbers in numerology. The master numbers I will be discussing are 11, 22, 33, and 44. Today I will begin with master numbers 11, 2. And it is said that anyone who holds a master number has greater responsibility, accountability to uphold the potential, the gifts laden in those higher octave numbers. But I also want to make clear the differentiation between the lower digit numbers and the master numbers. Those who come back with a life path number 1 through 9, you have a great amount of potential, a great amount of knowledge as you see the different progressions of the numbers. All of them have gifts, all of them have lessons. When an individual comes back with a master number, the difference is not only do they have the lessons to learn that number entails. Remember, they're still evolving, they're still progressing upward from the 11, 22, 33 to 44 onward, but they have a responsibility to uphold that higher knowledge, wisdom, exemplify it, demonstrate it, and lastly, and most importantly, to be bringers of light, to teach that to the masses, to the collective, or to the everyday people that you come in contact with, because not all the master numbers are going to be up there in the limelight. There are some that are going to be teachers in their community and maybe write a book or be a famous doctor or any of those, let's say, occupations that end up affecting humanity in a more healing, constructive, productive way. Okay, enough said about that. Now, it is true that there is also the probability, and I'm going to say from my experience that more than a probability, to be able to vibrate on these higher octave, and that is why you see them written with the 3 digits. So there is that master vibration like the 11, but you also see the lower octave of the number 2. What's important to understand is that when you're not operating on that master number vibration and you're resorting to it, whether it's a 2, a 4, a 6, or an 8, it is your, let's say, responsibility to use those gifts of those numbers in the best creative way, as well as maybe go back to make sure that those lessons that those lower numbers entail, you've graduated them, you've conquered them, you resonate with them, you don't have to be reminded of them. So work those energy to the best capacities. That is quite important. Okay, now the lessons of the master number is to also share. It's a give and take. It's to teach their particular gift to the humanity, and really not looking to be validated, not looking for recognition. Again, having just said that, do you see the tug-of-war between the personality self and the soul self? So these are all what I like to call the umbrella each of those master numbers live under and are influenced by. So the 11 life path number, In my experience, in what I've seen written in books, in authors, is probably one of the hardest to balance, because it is all about balance. And I'll explain that a little bit more when I bring out my sheets. I have a theory of why that is. And certainly it is only my theory, but to me, I think that it is most difficult because of it being, let's say, the first out of the gate. The 11 is the first individual on the evolutionary path to climb that ladder onward. And there's kind of an initiation, an introduction, a major, oh my goodness, I've got to do what? I have to say what? Or I get thrown back. So there is like this vast amount of unknowingness that can be quite scary, discerning. So that is my theory, that we are the first on the rung to higher awareness. The other thing that I think also comes into play, that it's the most difficult, is because of the symbology of the 11-2 in and of itself. And if we look at the tarot card, and I'm going to stand up here because I really want you to focus on this today. Now, this tarot card is from the Golden Tarot. Creator is Cat Black. And to me, the individual with the 11-2 seems to struggle. The card is called Justice. The number is 11. Balancing mind and higher knowledge. We see an angel. So this is an evolved individual who is holding the scales of humanity, of right and wrong, of justice, of balance, of harmony, of fairness. And she seems to be struggling, leaning one way. Remember, this is a mirror image. So the right is the left and the left is the right. And on your right, but really on the left side, is this devil. Now, let's look at the meaning of the left. The left is the past. The left is what still is unresolved, still needing to be worked at. So we have the devil really pushing down and causing the right side, or the, let's say, correct thinking, which is exemplified by the angels, to assist this angel to try to bring back that balance, that harmony. The key is in the angel's staff, where we see a gilded owl. Owls symbolize wisdom, higher knowledge. And it's through the 11-2 awareness of higher knowledge, sometimes getting out of the mind and getting into the heart, the higher mind, that will help them keep a balanced life. Now, let's look at mundane, everyday ways that the scales of your life can become unbalanced. Let's say you are an individual who works very, very hard. So from that part of the scale where you put all that energy, home and family life will suffer. It won't be balanced. The same is with not taking care of your body. Working too hard mentally, physically, assertion, not enough sleep, that's going to affect your physical body. So you can see where I'm going with this. And this card is very, very, in my opinion, instrumental in the struggle that the 11-2 individual seems to be working with. Remember, the universe is also working on the balance of cause and effect. What we do, there's an action and a reaction. And again, the 11-2, those scales seem to be very susceptible to becoming in disharmony. All right, so here is my first sheet, and I would like you to follow along with me. The master number 11, of course, is the higher octave of the 2. Here are some key words: altruism, inspirational, intelligence, and idealistic. Those are all character traits, tools in your toolbox that you have gained this lifetime to use to help you along. I also wrote down this quote that kind of, to me, again, exemplifies the lessons, the struggles, and the potential of the 11-2. When emotions are managed by the heart, they heighten your awareness of the world around you and add sparkle to life. The result is new intelligence and a new view of life. And that quote was by Doc Children and Howard Martin. Again, emphasizing coming in from the heart. 11-2s are very intelligent, reasoning, analytical, and sometimes do not allow the heart to come in. Not always, but that is a great possibility. Okay, you have come into a unique and often trying life force under the master number 11. The number 1 represents the sun. What does the sun represent? Force, stamina, will, and leadership. And you have double ones. And that indicates just how strong you are. Independent sometimes, too independent sometimes. And you fall back. And what do you fall back on? The 2. And if the 2, which is more of a receptive feminine energy, because we're talking about solar and we're talking about lunar energy here, if that is unbalanced, then that weakens the individual. That weakens what it is that you're hoping to accomplish. The number 2 represents the moon, and that is your magnetism, that is your moods, that is your instinct. So your resolve, your mission, your leadership has to have these 2 working together, but also in a productive, equal give and take understanding within yourself, and how you exemplify, put that in action in your everyday life. Experience a vacillation between personal ego, which is desire, and the soul's design and mission. Again, this balancing here depicted. There's, we could say, the soul's the desires. And then, of course, we have the soul's mission, what you're here to accomplish. You signed up for it. You're an 11-2. Creating order, balance, self-understanding within yourself is essential for you to achieve, and it usually is needed in your immediate family and relationships. This leads to your understanding spiritual essence and conscious awakening of the soul in the involuntary evolutionary process. What this boils down to, friends, is that the 11-2, in my experience, what I've seen, what I've heard, continuously is that there is usually discord within the family. There is usually discord with parents, sometimes with children. 11-2s sometimes find it hard to find the ideal mate in relationships. They tend to want to find their soulmate and won't settle for anything else. Again, that's the intelligence asking for something that may not have been agreed upon in another lifetime. Know that your actions will teach more than you preach, especially when you have just embarked on this journey. So, yes, what you say holds a lot of power, but make sure that you walk the talk, let's say. And you're also very, very good with words. Know that the vibration, the inner force, bestows great intelligence, unyielding determination, courage, psychic forces, fortitude, with charismatic leadership abilities. Many 11-2s are leaders, charismatic leaders. They could be great politicians. They could be great writers, artists. Salvador Dali was an 11-2, and basically you change the world through your gifts, especially if you are become famous and gain status. Not all of them do. All right, here are insights about the 11-2. Having experienced the pros and cons of being highly sensitive, individuals, because of your psychic abilities, because of the protective heart, because of your intuitiveness, you are a sensitive individual. You get hurt easily, you get bruised easily. Sometimes you nurture those wounds. What this is saying is remember to apply this knowing, this experience onto others in your teaching and in your relationships. Part of your agreement is to show the expression of compassion. Okay, here are the lessons. As I said earlier, no matter if you are a master number or not, you come here to learn lessons, to evolve your own evolution and also the conscious evolution, so that you can teach that, let's say, Christ consciousness, higher knowledge to others. Your lessons are to overcoming polarization tendencies, black and white thinking, right or wrong, duality, manipulation and control, gratification of others, or self-serving and gratifying yourself only. Trusting self and higher power is something many have to learn. Martyrdom, or overly confrontational. Fear of making mistakes and or admitting them. Use your suggestive powers consciously. You have the gift of gab, most of you. You have a way with words. They hold power. They ignite people. You are charismatic. You are creative. You are intuitive. How you teach makes a blueprint on people's minds and hearts. Be very conscious of that. Now, there are planetary influences with all the master numbers that I thought would bring greater insight. For the 11-2, the planets are Neptune and Uranus. Uranus will vibrate not only to the 11, but will also vibrate to the master number 22. 11 is specific for Neptune. So understanding symbols, helps you bypass the conscious mind and intellect and allow you, the individual, to tap into the spiritual and archetypal meanings. So tarot and astrology are excellent fields for you because of that analytical ability. That higher knowledge is going to come through symbology, through numbers, through archetype, through images, as well as inspiration and important spiritual concepts are going to be given to you in your dreams. You may be instructed or taught by higher entities and being through your dreams. I always recommend that those on the 11-2 path keep a dream journal. Learn what your weaknesses are and work towards straightening them. And astrological awareness of these two planets, Neptune and Uranus, in your horoscope can be beneficial in many ways. You're going to look to see what houses Neptune and Uranus and other signs are in, the aspects. So astrology chart is helpful in understanding yourself, your potential, what your strengths are, and what your weaknesses are, because these are the planets that vibrate along with you. They are, again, tools for you to use for better understanding and better awareness. Uranus is greatly emphasized, as it says, to correspond to the number 11. It is the ruler of the sign Aquarius and powerfully instrumental in conscious awakening, which is where we are now. That Uranus and its rulership to the age of Aquarius, this number 11, right now, we are seeing those individuals who are born in the 11-2 vibration gain the, I'm going to say, the download of that higher consciousness that humanity is getting. But the 11-2s are really, I just want to say, hard drive. You have the equipment to download it quick, to teach it, to access it quicker because of that correlation with the planet and with the awakening of the Aquarius age. All right, friends, I hope that was helpful to you. I'm going to end it there. Thanks, everybody, for following me. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask and comment. Thanks. Bye for now.